Have you ever looked in the mirror and asked yourself, is this the life I really want to live? Not just for today, but for the next 5 years?
It's a question most people avoid, not because they don't care, but because deep down, they're afraid of the answer. Afraid that it's already too late, that too much time has passed, that change is impossible now.
But here's the truth, it's never too late to change. What's too late is waiting until the pain becomes unbearable, until you feel stuck, bitter, or regretful.
And that's what today's episode is all about. Changing your life before it's too late, before time slips away, before fear makes your decisions for you.
Welcome to Speak English with Mishu. Today's topic goes beyond language. It's about your mindset, your choices, and the direction of your life.
Maybe you feel stuck in a job that drains you. Or maybe you're surrounded by people who don't really see your worth. Maybe you've been dreaming of something more but never dared to go after it.
That's not failure, that's being human. But if you're listening to this right now, that means something inside you is ready to shift, ready to grow, ready to change.
And let's be real, change is scary. Even if your life isn't what you want, at least it's familiar. Change brings uncertainty, and uncertainty triggers fear.
Still, there comes a moment when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the fear of changing. That's when transformation begins.
In this episode, we're going to walk you through that process. First, we'll talk about why people stay stuck. Then we'll give you practical, powerful ways to break free.
And of course, we'll guide you through it all in clear English so you learn the language of personal growth while also growing yourself.
By the end of this episode, we hope you'll see that your life doesn't have to stay the same. You have options, you have power, you have time, if you act now.
Coming up next, the real reasons people don't change, even when they know they need to, and how those reasons are secretly running your life.
Let's talk about something uncomfortable but necessary. If we all want to change, why don't we? What really keeps us stuck?
It's not because we're lazy. It's not because we don't care. Most of the time, people stay stuck for deeper, invisible reasons.
One of the biggest reasons is fear of failure. The fear that if we try and don't succeed, it will hurt more than not trying at all.
Yes, we say things like, what if I start that business and it fails? What if I try to change careers and no one hires me? What if I try to become a better person and people laugh at me?
So instead of risking failure, we stay in what's safe, even if it's painful. We tell ourselves, maybe next year, but next year turns into 5 years, then 10.
Another big reason is comfort with the familiar. Even when our current life isn't what we want, it's what we know. And our brains like familiarity more than happiness.
This is called the comfort trap. You know how it works. You complain about your situation, but secretly, you fear what would happen if you actually left it.
And then there's the voice of self-doubt, the inner critic that says, you're not smart enough, you're too old. People like you don't change. Sound familiar?
So we stay stuck, not because we can't change, but because we've been told, directly or indirectly, that we're not allowed to believe in ourselves.
Sometimes the people around us make it even harder. Family, friends, partners. They may not support your growth. Why? Because your change might make them uncomfortable.
That's the truth. When you grow, you challenge the people who aren't growing. That can make them feel afraid, insecure, or even angry. So they pull you back down without even realizing it.
Here's the hardest part. We believe the lie that we'll always have more time, that we can keep living this way just a little longer.
But time doesn't wait. Life is short, and it moves quickly. You don't need to panic, but you do need to wake up.
Because here's the truth. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to change. Not because you're incapable, but because you start to forget what it feels like to dream.
In the next part, we'll show you how to start changing, step by step. You don't need to flip your life upside down overnight, but you can begin today.
And that's where the power begins. Not in doing it all, but in taking the first brave step. Let's be honest. Changing your life sounds big. It sounds dramatic, like you need to quit your job, move to a new city, or become someone completely different.
But real, lasting change doesn't start with a big move. It starts small, quiet, simple. It begins the moment you decide to do just one thing differently today.
You don't need to wait for the perfect time. You don't need a degree, a course, or permission. You just need to take one step that says, I'm not staying stuck.
Let me give you an example. Imagine you want to improve your health. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need to go on a diet. You could start by drinking more water or walking for 10 minutes a day.
That small action builds momentum, and momentum creates motivation. People think motivation comes first, but no, it comes after you start moving.
Let's say you hate your job and want to switch careers. That's a huge leap, right? But maybe your small first step is watching one YouTube video about the career you do want.
Or updating your CV, or practicing a new skill for 20 minutes in the evening instead of scrolling social media. That's what starting small looks like.
The most important part is to prove to yourself, I can move forward. Even if it's slow, I can still move.
When people feel stuck, it's not because they can't change, it's because they don't believe their small actions matter, but they do. That tiny step is how every transformation begins.
Another thing, when you start small, it's easier to be consistent. And consistency is more powerful than intensity. Anyone can make a big change for one day. Few people can do something small for 100 days.
Here's something you can try today. Write down just one area of your life you want to improve. Then write one small step you can take in the next 24 hours. That's it.
Don't overthink it. Just do it. And once you do, you'll feel something powerful: pride, clarity, a sense of direction.
In the next part, we'll talk about something deeper, your why. Because starting small is great, but if you want to keep going, you need to know what you're moving toward.
Starting small gets you moving, but what keeps you going, especially when it gets hard, is your why. That deeper reason behind your desire for change.
When you know your why, you stop giving up so easily. You stop letting excuses win because the reason behind your action becomes stronger than the resistance.
Think about it. If someone tells you to wake up at 5 a.m. to exercise, you'll probably say no. But if your doctor tells you your health is at risk, suddenly you have a powerful why.
Your why might be different for every part of your life. Maybe you want to earn more, not for status, but so your parents can rest. Maybe you want to learn English, not just to pass an exam, but to speak confidently with people around the world.
Maybe you want to change your career, not to impress anyone, but because you feel empty inside doing something that doesn't light you up.
Ask yourself, what am I tired of tolerating? What is it costing me to stay the same? Who else is affected when I don't grow?
And then ask, what kind of person do I want to become? What would my life look like if I changed, even just a little? Who do I want to make proud? My younger self? My future self?
When your why is clear, you stop needing motivation every day. You move from pressure to purpose, from panic to peace.
Write it down. Seriously. Keep it somewhere you'll see it. On your wall, on your phone, inside your journal. When you forget why you started, that one sentence can bring you back.
Here's an example. I'm changing because I deserve a life that excites me, not one that drains me. Or I'm learning English so I can feel confident in any room with anyone.
Those reasons are personal, emotional, and that's what makes them powerful.
In the next part, we're going to give you a new way to look at your identity because change isn't just about what you do, it's about who you believe you are. Here's something most people don't realize. Real change doesn't last if you only focus on what you do. It lasts when you change how you see yourself.
Let me explain. You can force yourself to wake up early, go to the gym, or study English for a few days, but if deep down you still believe, I'm lazy, I'm not consistent, I'm not good enough, you'll always return to that old version of you.
That's because identity is powerful. We don't act according to what we want. We act according to what we believe we are.
So the secret to lasting change? Don't just ask, what should I do? Ask, who do I want to become?
Let's say you want to learn English. If you keep telling yourself, I'm bad at English, I always forget, I'm shy, your actions will follow that belief.
But if you shift your identity to, I'm the kind of person who learns every day, I'm becoming confident, I'm getting better step by step, now your brain has a new story to follow.
And here's the beautiful part. You don't need to wait to deserve that identity. You claim it now with small actions that align with the person you want to become.
Every time you wake up early, even for one day, you're voting for the identity of a disciplined person. Every time you study for 10 minutes, you're becoming a lifelong learner.
It's not about being perfect. It's about repetition. The more you repeat those actions, the more your brain believes, this is who I am now.
Think of identity like a thermostat. You can do something different for a while, but unless you reset the temperature, the internal belief, you'll always return to where you started.
So here's a challenge for today. Finish this sentence. I am the kind of person who, then take one small action that supports it.
For example, I am the kind of person who finishes what I start. Then finish that book, or that video lesson, or your daily walk.
Changing your life before it's too late begins when you stop waiting to feel like someone new and start acting like someone new.
In the next part, we'll give you a strategy for dealing with resistance, because as you grow, fear, doubt, and discomfort will try to stop you, but we'll show you how to keep moving through it. Let's talk about what happens right after you decide to change your life, because here's what no one tells you. Resistance always shows up.
It's that voice that says, this is too hard. You'll never stick with it. Why bother? It shows up in the form of procrastination, self-doubt, tiredness, distraction.
And the truth is, resistance is not the enemy. It's a sign that you're doing something meaningful, something new, something that matters.
You don't feel resistance when you're wasting time. You feel it when you're getting closer to the life you really want.
So instead of seeing resistance as a stop sign, see it as a signal. It means you're growing. You're stretching into unfamiliar territory, and your brain just wants to protect you.
Your brain is wired for survival, not for greatness. So when you step outside your comfort zone, it sounds the alarm. Warning, unfamiliar path.
But here's what you can do. First, expect the resistance. Don't be surprised by it. Plan for it.
Second, reduce the size of your action. When resistance is high, go smaller. Can't study for an hour? Study for 10 minutes. Can't write a page? Write one sentence.
Third, don't wait to feel motivated. Motivation comes after action. Start first, feel good later.
And finally, talk to yourself like a coach, not a critic. Instead of saying, why am I so weak? Say, this is hard, but I'm learning how to keep going.
Here's something to remember. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up even when it's uncomfortable.
If you can keep going for 5 minutes, even when every part of you wants to quit, you've already won. You've trained your mind to stay on your side.
Change happens in those exact moments. Not when things are easy, but when things are hard and you keep going anyway.
Coming up next, we'll talk about the most common struggles people face on this journey. You're not alone. We'll walk through the fears and doubts and show you how to stay strong when life pushes back. Let's be honest, no matter how motivated you feel right now, life is going to test you. There will be moments where you want to give up, where everything feels pointless.
Maybe it's a rejection, a failure, a mistake that makes you question yourself. Or maybe it's just exhaustion. You're tired of trying and not seeing results.
This is the part where most people stop, not because they're weak, but because they don't know that these feelings are normal.
So let's talk about some of the biggest obstacles you'll face when you try to change your life and how to stay strong through them.
Obstacle 1, self-doubt. That quiet voice that whispers, "Who do you think you are?" It shows up every time you try something new, every time you aim higher.
Here's the truth. Self-doubt is just a sign that you're doing something bold. You're stepping into unfamiliar territory. That voice doesn't mean stop. It means keep going.
Obstacle 2, criticism from others. Some people won't support your change. They'll say, "You've changed," like it's a bad thing.
But here's the truth. They're not mad that you changed. They're afraid you'll become someone they no longer recognize. And that's okay.
You don't owe anyone your stagnation. You don't have to stay small to make others feel comfortable.
Obstacle 3, slow progress. You might put in the work and feel like nothing is happening. This is where most people quit.
But progress is like growing a plant. You water it every day, and for weeks, nothing happens. But beneath the soil, everything is changing.
You're changing too. Even if the results are slow, your mindset, your discipline, your beliefs, they're evolving. And one day, something clicks.
Obstacle 4, comparison. You'll see someone else who's younger, richer, faster, more confident, and feel like you're behind.
But remember, you're not late. You're on your own timeline, and someone else's success is not your failure.
Here's what matters. You're moving, you're growing, you're trying, and that puts you ahead of everyone who's still sleeping through their potential.
In the next part, we're going to bring all of this to life. You'll hear a real-life role play between us, a conversation that shows what choosing change really sounds like. Emily, can I be honest about something? I've been feeling completely lost lately. Like I'm just going through the motions. Wake up, work, sleep, repeat. I feel numb.
I'm really glad you said that, Liam. That takes courage. Can you tell me what exactly feels wrong?
I don't know. It's like nothing is terrible, but nothing is great either. I've had these dreams for years, but now I'm older and I'm starting to wonder, did I wait too long?
You didn't wait too long. You just stopped listening to the part of you that wants more. And that voice, it's still there. It's just buried under routine and fear.
But changing now, it feels so heavy. What if I try and fail? What if I disappoint people? What if I disappoint myself?
Those are real fears. But what is staying the same is the bigger risk? What if 5 years from now you look back and realize you traded your future for comfort?
That scares me even more.
Then let's start small. What's one thing you can do tomorrow that brings you closer to the life you actually want?
Honestly, I think I need to start writing again. I used to love it. It made me feel alive.
Then write. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the perfect time. Just start, even if it's messy, even if no one sees it.
And what if I lose momentum again?
Then you begin again. You forgive yourself and you keep going. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be honest and consistent.
You make it sound so possible.
Because it is. Your life doesn't have to be dramatic to be meaningful. Sometimes real change starts with one quiet decision. I'm not staying here anymore.
Thank you, Emily. I think this is the first time in a long time I've actually felt hopeful.
That hope, It's not random, it's your real self speaking up. Listen to it, trust it, and let it guide your next step.
Coming up next, we're going to help you build your English vocabulary from this conversation, so you not only grow emotionally, but linguistically too.
Let's turn today's learning into action with words you can use to describe your own journey. Now, it's time to slow things down and grow your English vocabulary. These are powerful words and phrases we use today that can help you speak more clearly and emotionally.
Yes, and remember, learning vocabulary isn't just about memorizing words. It's about using language that helps you express your thoughts, dreams, and emotions.
Let's start with the first one, going through the motions. This means doing things without passion or energy just because it's routine. Example, he wakes up, works and sleeps, but he's just going through the motions.
Next up, buried under routine. This describes feeling like your real desires or personality are hidden beneath your daily habits. Example, my dreams feel buried under routine and responsibilities.
Number 3, permission. Usually means official approval, but in personal growth, it means allowing yourself to start or change. Example, you don't need permission to change your life.
Here's another one, momentum. Momentum means forward movement. Once you start something and keep going, momentum builds naturally. Example, she lost momentum and stopped writing, but she's ready to begin again.
And our last one for today, comfort zone. This is the safe space where nothing changes. It feels easy, but there's no growth there. Example, he had to step out of his comfort zone to build the life he wanted.
If you're listening, try using one or two of these phrases in a journal entry tonight, or say them out loud with your own examples.
When you use emotional and powerful vocabulary like this, you not only sound more fluent, you connect deeper with people and with yourself.
Coming up next, we're going to wrap things up with some motivation. A few final words to help you feel strong, supported, and focused on the road ahead. If you've made it this far, take a deep breath and really feel it, because that means something inside you is awake, alive, and ready.
Ready not to settle, not to keep sleepwalking through life, not to keep saying someday when your soul is screaming now.
We know change can feel scary. It's uncomfortable, it's uncertain. But what's even scarier? Reaching the end of your life and realizing you never really lived.
Your dreams, your peace, your growth, they aren't luxuries. They're part of your purpose, and they're waiting on the other side of one brave decision.
You don't have to be fearless. You just have to be willing. Willing to try, willing to begin again, willing to believe that your future can be better than your past.
And even if you've made mistakes, even if you've wasted time, it's not too late. Not now, because now is all you need.
You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take one honest step forward. The path will appear as you walk it.
And if you ever feel alone, come back to this space, this podcast, these words. We believe in you, even when your voice shakes, even when your hope fades.
Because here's the truth. You are more powerful than your fear, more capable than your excuses, and more worthy than you've ever been told.
Change your life, not because you hate where you are, but because you love who you're becoming.
Coming up next, we'll recap everything we talked about today and share how you can take action, support the show, and keep walking this journey with us.
Let's take a moment to review everything we covered today. We started by asking a simple but powerful question. Are you living the life you truly want, or are you waiting too long to change?
We explored why people often feel stuck, the fears, doubts, and comfort zones that keep us from moving forward.
Then we shared practical steps to help you begin your journey, starting small, knowing your why, shifting your identity, and learning how to push through resistance.
We also talked about facing obstacles head on, how to deal with self-doubt, criticism, slow progress, and comparison.
Through our role play, you heard what choosing change looks like in real life: honest, vulnerable, and hopeful.
We expanded your English vocabulary with useful phrases that will help you talk about your own growth and challenges.
And finally, we wrapped up with a motivational message, reminding you that it's never too late to start and you are capable of incredible transformation.
If you found value in today's episode, please like this video and subscribe to Speak English with Mishu. Your support helps us create more content that inspires and teaches.
Share this episode with a friend or family member who might need a little encouragement to change their life.
And don't forget to leave a comment below. We want to hear your stories, your first steps, your struggles, your wins.
Remember, change isn't a destination, it's a journey, and we're here to walk it with you.
Thanks so much for spending this time with us. Keep believing, keep moving, and keep growing.
We'll see you in the next episode of Speak English with Mishu. As we wrap up today's episode, remember that every moment is a new chance, a new opportunity to choose change.
Your life doesn't have to stay the same. You have the power to rewrite your story, step by step, day by day.
If you're feeling inspired, take one small action right now. Write down your why. Make a simple plan. Tell someone you trust about your decision.
And keep coming back to this podcast whenever you need a boost. We'll keep sharing stories, tips, and encouragement to help you stay on track.
If you want to dive deeper, check out our other episodes. There's so much here to help you grow your English skills and your confidence.
Thank you for being part of the Speak English with Mishu family. Your journey matters to us.
Take care, stay brave, and remember, change is possible, but only if you start before it's too late.
Until next time, keep learning and keep living your best life.